Today we have Fede Alvarez, writer and director of Don't Breathe. Now I have to tell you, I saw the film last week. I was literally on the edge of my seat. I wasn't sure who to root for, what character, was going to conquer all or anything. Now I wanted to know about the writing. Where did you get all of your inspiration from for the storyline and for the characters?
I think this is one of those movies that, it's made up because it's in the real world, right? Like you create some characters, and I did, I want to tell a story about robbers in this particular movie. But then a lot of the things that happen, and that's why I think it makes it terrifying, like they might have been taken from the headlines here and there, like bits and pieces, right? Not exactly how it happens in the story, but you feel that it could have happened in real life. And I think that's why it's so terrifying at points, because it's not like in a ghost story where you cannot come out of the theater and just shake it off and go like, well, that's not going to happen. But in this one, things that happen, you go like, oh, that might happen to me, and that, I think, makes it so intense.
Well, some of my favorite aspects of the film were like all the camera work. I felt like I was in the house at points. I felt like you were moving around and everything. And I was wondering, when you're writing, do you see it in your head when you're writing the script for the scenes, like how you're going to direct it, or does the direction come second?
Well, I think it's a combination. There's some scenes that for sure, like since the day you write it, you kind of have, you kind of fantasize about how you're going to shoot it when that day comes, and then you end up executing that. And there's others that you discover them on the day, right? But that at the end of the day, I think is the job of the director, and that's the part that's the hardest part, I think, just to be able to have a vision for the film that when you write it, you can see it in your head, and then to not forget that and to hold that idea in your head during all the making of film, which is a long time, right? Mm-hmm. Because from the point of pre-production until the movie's done, you spend like more than a year doing it. So keeping that strong image of what the film is and be able to put on the screen exactly what you envision it, or better sometimes. In this case, I think that it turned out way better than what I thought it was going to be in my head, at least. Particularly that level we're talking about, the camera work and performances and everything that makes for that part of the film. I was very glad that it turned out the way it did.
Well, speaking of performances, Lang was very believable playing a blind man. How much one-on-one time did you guys do with discussing character and traits and skills that he was going to have?
Yeah, usually I want to make sure that I have enough time with the actors in pre-production to just really talk in deep about their characters, who they are, and that's what I think makes for good performances, when they know who they are, who they're playing, right? And also he did a magnificent job just learning as much as he could to be blind in a way by memorizing the house, how many steps he had from the kitchen to the living room. And because he was wearing these contact lenses, he couldn't really see much. So most of the time, he's not faking the blindness in the film. He really doesn't see anything. So he had to become that character in a way that was fascinating but very frightening for everybody on set.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it. I wish you luck with your film and everything.
Thank you so much.
I hope your fans found it as thrilling as I did.